Hello students, welcome to my live teaching learning session of course code BECC 131 Principles of Microeconomics Part 1. I am Reena Bajaj, professor of Delhi University. I have been teaching in Delhi University since 2000 to till now. Today, I will discuss with you Unit 1 Introduction to Economics and Economy. As you know that economics has two branches. Economics has two branches, microeconomics and macroeconomics. Microeconomics deals with individual units of the economy and macroeconomics deals with whole units of the economy. In your syllabus, you will study microeconomics, यानी कि principles of microeconomics is your paper. Okay, so now the objective of this unit is explain the problem of scarcity of resources for satisfying ever increasing wants of society. Next is state the meaning and nature of an economy. I will discuss all these topics in this session. Next is describe the concept of economic entities, discuss the concept of production possibility curve, and state the issues relating to allocation of resources between investment and consumption and between private and public goods. Okay, this is the main objective, and the main objective of this unit is to explain the methods of resources allocation in a market economy. As you know that economy has three types. One is market economy, which is known as capitalist economy. Second is socialist economy. Socialist economy is that economy in which all the resources are owned by government or state. Capitalist economy is that economy in which all the resources are owned by private entrepreneurs or private ownership is exist in capitalist economy. And the mixed economy is that economy in which there is a coexistence between private and public sector. As you know that Indian economy is mixed economy and USA economy is capitalist economy, which is known as market economy. And China and Russia economy is socialist economy. So as you understand that market economy is capitalist economy, China and Russia economy in which means of productions are owned by government or state, that is socialist economy, and the mixed economy is that economy in which both the sectors means private sector and public sector, private ownership and state ownership, both are coexist in mixed economy. Next, I will discuss in this unit, describe the basic concepts and methodology of economics, nature of economics laws, and explain some of the analytical concepts associated with economic reasoning. Next, let us start with this topic, introduction. Let us begin with defining the discipline of economics. As you know that economics has a very good scope at present. Economics has been defined by different economists. First of all, Adam Smith, which is known as father of economics. Adam Smith firstly explained what is economics. According to Adam Smith, who is the father of economics, who gave the definition of economics in 1776. He described economics is a science of money. Economics is a science of wealth. Economics क्या है? Economics is a science of wealth. It means in which we study what is money, how we can earn money, how we can spend money, related to all things which is related with money, we discuss in economics, according to Adam Smith. Economics has been variously defined. First of all, I said that economics is defined by Adam Smith. After that, economics is defined by Marshall, then Lord Robbins, and lastly, it was described by Samuelson. These are definitions explain that what is economics. Generally, economics is a science or which is related with human beings. Human beings, we include in human beings consumers and producers, consumers who consume goods and services, and producers who produce goods and services for the satisfaction of consumers. In our economy, consumers and producers all exist and make society. Economics deals with always human beings, and economics explain that economics is a science which studies human behavior. As you know that consumer wants maximum satisfaction and producer want maximum profit. Main aim of the consumer is how to gain maximum satisfaction through minimum spending, and the producer main goal is to earn maximum profit at a minimum cost. Economics describe the behavior of all consumers and producers, which is known as human beings. Economics is defined and summarized by Samuelson. Some of the definitions seek to explain that economics analyzes how a society's institutions and technology affect prices and the allocation of resources among different uses. Resources always remains constant or fixed or limited, and our wants remains always unlimited. As you know that human wants are endless. Human wants are unlimited. But the resources from which we can satisfy our needs, our wants, that is available in limited quantity in each and every country. Either that country is developing country or developed country or backward country. In every country, resources always remains fixed or constant or scarce or in limited quantity. But the wants remains always unlimited. Unlimited means endless. Our wants are endless. After satisfying one want, then create another want. After satisfying second want, again create third want. It means wants are endless, never satisfied fully. Economics deals with unlimited wants and limited resources. So that you will study in this unit how a society's institution and technology affect prices and the allocation of resources among different uses. Next is in this unit you will study that explore the behavior of the financial market, how financial market work, how financial market acts, including interest rate and stock prices. And it will also examine the distribution of income and suggest ways that the poor can be helped without harming the performance of the economy. It means economics suggests us how we can use limited resources in a good way, in an economical way, so that everybody can satisfy their wants and without harming the performance of the economy, we can satisfy all human beings' wants. In economics, we will study that the business cycles and examine how monetary policy can be used to moderate the swings in unemployment and inflation. As you know that economics is very wide, very broader. Economics has two branches. One is microeconomics and other is macroeconomics. Microeconomics word is derived from Greek language micros, M I K R O S. Micros means small. as we know that microeconomics is related with small units. Micro means small. The small units means when we deals with individual units of the economy like a consumer, a producer, a firm, an industry, a price of a particular commodity, that is called microeconomics. Microeconomics always related with individual units of the economy. And second branch of the economics is macro, macro. But in Greek language, macro is macros. Macro is macros. Macro can be written as macros, makros. It means wide, large, or big. So it is clear with the definition of, with the word meaning of macros, macro always deals with whole units of the economy. Whole units means all the units of the country. Macroeconomics deals with always totality, aggregates like aggregate demand, aggregate supply, aggregate savings, total investment, theory of employment, business cycles, monetary policy, fiscal policy, rate of unemployment, inflation. All these topics related with macroeconomics. When we discuss about totality or aggregates level, it means that is the part of macroeconomics. The economy is a system which provides means of living us, means of living for survival of the human beings. These terms are different. Economy is different concept, economics is different concept, and micro and macro are the branches of economics. First of all, you should have to be clear the basic concepts of what is economy, what is economics, what is microeconomics, and what is macroeconomics. As I said that micro and macro, these are the two branches of economics. And economy is a system which provides us means of living, means of earning, so that we can survive our life. We can fulfill our requirements. Each and every economy provides jobs opportunity and means of earning and means of living to the country people so that country people satisfy their needs or wants. Economics is a science. Economics is not a natural science. Economics is not a pure science. Economics is a social science. It deals with human behavior. And in human beings, we include consumers and producers. So, microeconomics deals with individual units of the economy, and macroeconomics deals with whole units of the economy. So, business cycles, monetary policy, unemployment, and inflation is a part of macroeconomics. And when we discuss about scarcity of resources or individual consumer or individual producer or a single firm or an industry and price of one commodity, that is the part of microeconomics. In your syllabus, microeconomics, one you will study in this program code BECC 131. So this is the part of macro trade barriers. Developing country, each and every country wants to achieve high growth rate of the economy. So we will discuss in this unit how economy can grow, can achieve the growth of the economy. Looks at growth in developing countries and proposes ways to encourage the efficient use of resources. And economics tells us that how government policies can be used to pursue important goals such as rapid economic growth efficient use of resources, full employment, price stability, and a fair distribution of income. A common theme running though through all these definition is scarcity. Scarcity is a fact of life, and that an efficient use of the scarce resources is to be found. That is how we define economics as a science that deals with scarcity. Economics is a science which deals with scarcity. Scarcity means, what is the meaning of scarcity? Now you will understand the meaning of scarcity. Scarcity is tells us that wants are unlimited, but resources are always available in limited quantity. You know that economics has main economics solve the problem of scarcity. The concept of scarcity finds an expression in two basic facts of economic life: unlimited wants, which is always endless; scarce resources of means. Resources means production, factors of production. We know that factors of productions are available in each and every country is in very limited quantity. Aggregate supply or supply of these factors of production is limited as compared to our wants. Factors are only four. Main producing factors are only four. One is land, second is labor, third is capital, and fourth is entrepreneur. There are four factors of production which is called primary factors of production, which is very useful for the production of goods and services. Without land, you can't produce anything. Without the using of labor, you can't produce anything. Without capital, we can't produce. And without entrepreneur is a person. Entrepreneur is a businessman or industrialist who organize all the factors of production and take risk to produce goods and services. So resources are always available in limited quantity, but wants are endless. Wants are unlimited. So wants are unlimited, it means every person has some wants. Different persons have different wants, and wants of even the same person keep changing with the passage of time. As time changes, our needs, our wants always changes. Our wants changes according to time, according to the place, and according to our status. Human wants are unlimited and keep on increasing every time. Different wants differ in their intensity. Intensity means which requirement, which want is which in which to which wants I give priority. Priority means if I give preference to my want, it means intensity of the want is higher. And if I give less preference to our want, then intensity will be less. Intensity depends upon priority and preferences of our wants. Subject to the availability of resources, higher order wants need to be satisfied first. And if resources are still available, these may be used to satisfy lower order wants. In this slide, scarce resources, what is the meaning of scarce resources? Scarce resources or limited resources or means when we say that wants are unlimited and to satisfy unlimited wants, if resources are available in limited quantity for the fulfillment of our want, that is called scarcity. Scarcity, actual meaning of scarcity means limited availability of resources. And when we compare these scarce resources with the relation of our wants, we can say that wants are always unlimited or endless. And the resources who can fulfill our wants that are always available in limited quantity. So, economics deals with scarce resources, how we can fulfill our unlimited wants with the help of limited resources. Satisfaction of wants requires resources or the means to satisfy wants. Availability of resources is always limited in relation to our wants or requirements. However, scarce resources means have alternative uses. What is the meaning of alternative uses? Alternative uses means we have limited resources, so if we want to satisfy our unlimited want with the help of limited resources, then we should use alternative use of the limited resources. For example, milk. Milk is used in different purposes. Milk is used to drink generally, and in tea, coffee, we use milk. To make curd, we use milk. To make cheese, we use milk. It means milk has different uses. Electricity has different uses. When a factor has different uses, that is called alternative use of the resources. We use water in a different purposes for drinking, for cleaning, for washing clothes, for making food, for bathing, so many purposes of water. When we have limited resources, then we have to use alternatively all the available limited resources so we can satisfy our unlimited wants. The resources therefore need to be allocated among different uses in a systematic, coordinated manner. Every individual and economy has to devise a mechanism for this. Different societies try to solve these issues in different ways, and in the process, each society creates a setup which is called economy. The term economy and economic system is a comprehensive one. Economy is a system which provides means of earning, means of living to all the country people. It covers the entire set of institutions and arrangements, including rules and regulations, which facilitate their interactions for resolving the basic and permanent problem of an imbalance between means means resources, and wants, which is always endless. Scarcity is a relative concept. There are two types of concept. One is absolute and second is relative. Relative concept is that concept which compare, in which we can study comparatively. Scarcity is called a relative concept. It is always studied with reference to our unlimited wants while the means of resources are limited. All resources are not equally scarce all the time. Some resources are available in abundant quantity, it means too much in large quantity, and some resources are very scarce or limited. Scarcity causes price. As you know that each and everything is available in our country or in our world at a particular price. Those things which are very rarely available in the country, that has a higher price, and which commodity is available in abundant quantity. As you know that in our earth, 70% earth is covered with water. It means water is available in abundant quantity, so that water is available at a cheap price rate. Higher the scarcity, higher will be the price, and lower the scarcity, lower will be the price. And if there is no scarcity, it means that commodity will be available at a zero price or free of cost. Zero scarcity means zero price. Higher scarcity means higher price. Lower scarcity means lower price. For example, sunlight and the air, we do not pay any price. And now, why scarcity is a problem? Why we study scarcity? Because scarcity is a problem. Scarcity is problem not only because resources are limited in relation to our wants. It is a problem because we have to use alternatively of all the available resources for the satisfaction of our wants. So that we can say that scarcity is a problem not only because resources are limited, resources are scarce in relation to our wants, but also because resources have alternative use. Now next is problem of scarcity causes the problem of choice. Problem of scarcity and problem of choice always go together. If there is a scarcity, then definitely problem of choice will arise. If there is no scarcity, no shortage, no limitations, then no problem of choice will arise. If you have abundant resources, then you don't have any problem of choice. But if there is a scarcity or availability of resources are limited, then you have to make a choice in between of resources and your wants. Problem of choice is also called the problem of allocation of resources and those resources which have alternative uses. Problem of choice basically arises due to three reasons. One is wants are unlimited. As we have studied earlier, wants are always endless or unlimited. And resources who can satisfy our wants, unlimited wants, resources are always available in our country or in our world is always limited. Resources have alternative uses. Alternative uses, as you know, that resources can be alternatively used for different purposes. For example, I have earlier said that water we can use in different purposes, electricity we can use in different purposes, and milk we can use for different purposes. It means all available resources have alternative uses. Like land, you can, as you know, that factors of productions are four: land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. Land have alternative uses. Either you can use land for agriculture purpose, or you can make building or industry on that particular land area. The land can be used for different purposes. Scarcity and problem of choice always go together. It means these two problems are inseparable. You can't separate these two problems. If scarcity exists, then definitely problem of choice always exists. If there is no scarcity, no problem of choice will arise. So that scarcity create the problem of choice. If you have limited income, and you have unlimited want, first of all, you have to decide which want you can satisfy from the limited resources. And to solve your problem, you will see that if your want is higher, if your want, you give preference to that want is higher, you give more priority to your want, you will satisfy first that want. After that, another wants you will fulfill. So, scarcity and problem of choice always go together. It means both problems are inseparable. Now, what is the meaning of production? We always discuss the four factors of production uses for the production of goods and services. What is the production? The term production implies the transformation of various inputs into output. Production means when we convert raw material into finished goods. It is the process in which we can convert raw material into finished goods. And when we transform the various inputs into output for the satisfaction of human wants, that is called production. The process of production transforms the things occurring in nature into goods and services which are capable of satisfying human wants. The things which are transformed are called input, while output is nothing but the transformed form of inputs. That is the goods and services. This involves some human efforts, both physical and intellectual. The transformation may be physical and transformation may be intellectual. Physical means a different appearance which enhance one satisfying capacity, and special relocate or transfer the things from one place to another to make them available to the end users. Or intertemporal factors may be intertemporal, your choices may be intertemporal when our choices depends upon the two time period, present or future. um, what will we consume in present and what will we consume in future. So that is called intertemporal, saving and preserving things which arises growth made today for use at a later date, storage and warehousing. A particular transformation is production. If the one satisfying capacity of the output, also called product, is more than that of input used. To put differently, production is nothing but the creation of utility. It means when we produce goods and services for the satisfaction of human wants, it means we are converting raw material into finished goods. We are creating the utility of that commodity so that when input is converted into output, that is called production. And production is very necessary for the satisfaction of our wants. Without production, consumption can't be possible. And without consumption, investment can't be possible. Production, consumption, and investment, these are the three basic economic activities of the economy. And these three activities always goes on continuously so that our economy can move smoothly. Production is the first step for making goods and services for the satisfaction of human wants. And production is generally a process in which input is converted into output. What is input? Input are like land, labor, capital, entrepreneur, all these factors of productions, raw material, fuel, etc. is called inputs. And what is output? Output means goods, which is produced by with the help of inputs. Now you have studied scarcity and problem of choice. And scarcity and problem of choice arises three central problems of an economy. Because of the scarcity of resources, every economy, either economy is capitalist or market economy, or either economy is socialist or state owned resources economy or mixed economy, each and every economy is faced with certain basic or fundamental problems which it must try to solve within its socio-economic framework. These central problems are what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. Three central problems always arise in each and every country. Now we will discuss in detail these central problems. First problem is what to produce. What to produce generally discuss that what type of goods and services should be produced in the economy and in what quantity. What to produce, this problem arises due to scarcity of resources. An economy does not have enough resources to produce everything required by it. So it must be selective and decide what to produce and what not to be produced. When some goods are not produced, some wants of the society remain unsatisfied. The decisions regarding the wants to be satisfied and the goods and services to be produced and interrelated and are taken in a coordinated manner. This is called allocation of productive resources. If some factors of productions are employed in the production of product X, to that extent, these will no longer be available for the production of Y. The problem can be illustrated by PPC. You will study this topic after discussing center problems. What to produce generally, we have two options. A producer has to decide what type of goods and services should be produced in our economy and in what quantity. As you know that in economy, we can produce basically of two types of goods. One is capital based goods, capital goods which is known as, and second is consumer based goods like wheat, rice, sugar, etc. And capital based goods like machines, technology, weapons, etc. If but you know that resources are only four: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. If we use four resources in the production of capital goods, then the production of consumer goods will be less. And if we use all the available resources in the production of consumer good, then production of the capital good will be less or decrease. It means we have to make a choice. Here, due to scarcity, problem of choice arises. Here we have to make a choice in between of scarce resources and the production of these two goods. If capital goods production is necessary, then consumer goods production will fall. We use all the available resources in the production of capital goods, consumer goods production fall. And if consumer goods are very necessary for the economy, then we use all the available resources in the production of consumer goods, then capital goods production will fall. For solving this problem, what to produce, if we want to solve this problem, we have to see that in economy, what type of situation is prevailing. If in our economy is a war situation exist, then economy's producer will produce more capital goods and less consumer goods. If there is a peaceful time period, no war, then economy will produce or producer will produce more consumer goods and less capital goods. So that we can solve this problem, what to produce, to see that what type of situation is prevailing in our country. Second problem is how to produce. This how to produce also occurs due to scarcity of resources. How to produce, generally it also belongs to problem of choice. Here we have to make a choice in between of two technologies. We have two types of technologies for the production of goods and services. One technology is called labor intensive technology and second is called capital intensive technology. Producers main aim is, the main goal of the producer is always to use that type of technology which is available at a cheaper rate, so producers profit can increase. In India, labor is abundant, labor is available at a cheaper rate, so producer will use for the production of goods and services more labor and less capital. But for USA economy, in USA, as you know that in USA, capital is abundant and labor is scarce. So USA will use more capital intensive technology instead of labor intensive techniques. So how to produce is the problem which is related with choice of technology. We should have to make a choice in between of technology, what type of technique we should use for the production of goods and services. We know that producers main aim is to earn maximum profit at a minimum cost, so producer will use that type of technology which is available at a cheaper rate. So for Indian economy, labor intensive technology is appropriate, and for USA economy where capital is abundant, their capital intensive technology is best for the production of goods and services. So how to produce, this problem is related with two types of technologies, and we have to make a choice in between of types of technologies कि what type of technology we should use for the production of goods and services. Either we can use labor intensive technology or capital intensive technology, but we will use that type of technique which is available in abundant quantity in our country, because in abundant quantity, if technology is not scarce, that will be available at cheaper rate, and producer can earn maximum profit to use that type of technique which is available at cheaper rate. Third problem is for whom to produce. This problem is related with consumers. Producer has to decide produce that will produce only for those consumers. As you know that producer's aim is to earn maximum profit. Producer has to decide he will produce for whom. It means producer main goal is to earn maximum profit. So producer always produce only for those consumers who have purchasing power, who have money. Those consumers who don't have purchasing power, who can't buy goods and services, producer will not produce for that. A society comprises a large number of individuals and households. All the outputs or output of consumption goods and services is ultimately meant for their use. Therefore, all the goods and services produced are to be distributed amongst the individuals and households. The share of each individual and household has to be determined, and also the quantities of specific goods and services which comprises that share. We can see that it is possible to propose different principles whereby this distribution may be carried out. In an economic system organized on market principles, the income share of individual members of the society are determined in the following manner. In a market economy, as we discussed earlier, कि market economy is that economy which is called capitalist economy, in which means of productions are owned by private sector. They are sold, bought, and hired like any other goods or services. The price of a productive resource is determined by price mechanism, a system that is called price mechanism. And this system, price mechanism, is based on market forces of demand and supply. Where demand and supply come intersect each other, equilibrium price is determined, and that price is taken over by capitalist economy. In capitalist economy or in a market economy, productive resources are always privately owned, bought, sold, and hired like other goods and services, and the price of the product is determined with the help of demand and supply curve. Whenever it is to be employed by a producer, he has to pay its market price to its owner. It is for the owner to supply, it is the market or withhold it. If producer get maximum price, then producer will sell it. And if producer is not receiving good price for that commodity, producer will not sold that product to the consumer. It means in a market economy, if consumer has purchasing power, then consumer can buy goods and services. But if consumer has no purchasing power, no income, then he can't purchase that commodity, because the goal of the firm, goal of the producer, goal of the seller is to earn maximum profit in a market economy. So, for whom to produce? For whom to produce, this problem is related with distribution of goods and services. Producer always produce goods and services only for those consumers who have purchasing power, who are able to buy or who can buy that goods and services to pay a particular price. These three problems, what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce, these three problems, which is known as central problems of an economy, and these three problems always arises in each and every country due to scarcity of resources. And scarcity means shortage of the resources and unlimited wants. Now, the problem of growth. This problem is also related with each and every economy. Every country you see that every country wants to earn, wants to gain maximum growth of the country. Every economy seeks to increase its stock of capital, to increase its production capacity, and to generate more income. The generated income in an economy has two alternative uses. One is consumption expenditure and other is saving. Thus, we can explain with the help of this equation y is equals to c plus s. Here c is consumption and s is saving, and y denotes national income. Saving, what is saving? Saving is that part of our money income which is not spent on consumption. And what is consumption? Consumption means when we consume goods and services for the satisfaction of our wants is called consumption. And if we add consumption and saving, then we can get total expenditure or national income Y. Saving is the main source of investment in an economy. Investment adds to the capital stock of the economy, and therefore there is a need to reduce the share of consumption expenditure and thereby increase investment. This helps in capital formation. Economic growth can be possible if investment increases, because if investment increases, then definitely production will increase. If production increases, then definitely employment level will increase. Employment raises the level of income of the individual or consumers or persons. If income increases, then economic growth will increase, because economic growth is a continuous process, is a long run process in which national income and per capita income increases continuously for the long time period. So each and every country wants to achieve higher growth rate of economy. But the problem of growth is here in India, we know that India is second most populated country in the world. Here too much population exists. As well as population increases, our per capita income is falling. Because if population increases, per capita income is calculated by dividing national income to population. If national income is increasing, side by side population is also increasing. Simultaneously, if national income rises, population rises, then per capita income will not increase. And if per capita income not increases, then saving will not increase. If saving not increases, then investment will not increase. And if investment not increase, then growth can't be possible. So growth is related with saving, consumption, and investment. And income is equals to c plus s. This is the equation of national income, and saving is the main source of investment of the economy. Next is choice between public and private goods. We know that private goods are those goods which are produced by private entrepreneurs or individuals. And for example, a product may be priced in a market and only those who pay its price may be allowed to have it. Private goods like private buses, private car, private hospitals, private schools, these goods are available only for those consumers who have purchasing power, who are able to buy. Who can't pay for it, who are not ready to pay, are not allowed to use it. And second type of good is public goods. Public goods are those goods which is available for all, not for only those person who have purchasing power. Public goods are available for all, like government hospitals, government schools are available for all. Who have no not money income, not too much money income to pay for private goods, they can take public goods. So when it is not possible to restrict the availability of a product to selected individuals, they are termed as public goods or social goods. Such goods can't be so priced as to deprive some persons from using it. That is why it is indivisible. Defense service is a typical example of public services. When a country is protected against foreign aggressions, every citizen is protected. With its limited resources, an economy can't have enough of both public and private goods. It must try to achieve an optimum combination of both. Now, the next topic is the problem of merit good. What is merit good production? Those goods whose consumption is considered highly desirable for the members of the society are termed as merit good. The important feature of the merit good is that their consumption benefits both the user and non user. For example, if a person is educated and healthy, it not only helps him but also the society as a whole. Health and education, therefore, are called a merit good, merit product, or services. And it is desirable that every member of the society gets education. Consumption of merit good benefits the society as a whole and raises the level of its efficiency and well being. Therefore, every society has to decide the extent it can and should produce and consume merit good. Next topic is production possibility curve. Production possibility curve is that curve which shows different combinations or alternative combinations of two goods that can be produced with the help of limited resources and limited technology or available technology. In other words, we can say that production possibility curve is that curve or graphical presentation of various combinations of the output which can be produced by the producer with the help of given resources and given technology. Production possibility is drawn on the following assumptions. The country has to choose between alternative combinations of only two goods. For example, LED TV and computer monitor. All productive resources of the country are given. Resources are already given. We can't change the available resources, as we know that resources are only for land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. We can't change it. So is the state of technology is also given. We can't change any type of technology for the production of goods and services. All productive resources, we assume that all resources are fully employed, fully equipped, fully used. No wastage of or underutilization of the resources exist in the economy. Next is the productive resources are suitable for the production of goods. We can, it means resources are suitable. For resources, land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur are suitable for the production of goods, LED TV or monitor, computer monitor. They can therefore be shifted from the production of one to the other. If we produce more LED TV, then we will produce less computer monitor. If we use less resources in LED, we can use more resources in computer monitor. It means we have to make a choice in between these two goods with the because we know that resources are limited. We have limited resources, so we have to make a choice. Scarcity always create the problem of choice, and problem of choice can be solved to give priority. If you want to produce more LED, you will produce less computer monitor. And if you want to produce more computer monitor, you will have to produce less LED. Now, PPC can be explained with the help of table and graph. In this table, you are seeing their production possibilities are like A, B, C, D, E, and F. These are production possibilities. Production possibilities or different combinations. And if we assume that we are producing two goods, one is cloth and other is wheat. As we know that resources are only for land, labor, capital, entrepreneur. In a combination, we are producing zero cloth. It means cloth in the production of cloth, we are not using our available resources. We have used all the available resources in the production of wheat. We put all the resources in the production of wheat. Then wheat production will be maximum 15. As well as we increase the production of cloth, we have to reduce the production of wheat. As you are watching here, case cloth is increasing by 1 1 1, यानी कि 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, यानी कि continuously the production of cloth is increasing by 1 and the production of wheat is falling. In A combination, cloth is producing 0 and wheat production is 15. In the combination of B, we are producing cloth units is 1 and the wheat unit is 14. As well as we are increasing the production of cloth, wheat production is falling. 15 minus 1 करेंगे तो 14. 14 minus 2, 12. 12 minus 3, 9. 9 minus 4, 5. And 5 minus 5, 0. As well as we increase the units of cloth, we have to reduce the production of wheat. Because we have limited resources, we can't produce both the goods in the same quantity due to scarcity of resources. We have to make a choice in between these two goods, cloth and wheat. Either we can produce more cloth or less wheat, or we can produce more wheat or less cloth. Here, the rate, marginal opportunity cost. Marginal opportunity cost is that cost which refers to the change in wheat due to change in units of the cloth. As you are watching here, is wheat production is falling. Wheat production is falling 15 to 14. It means falling is 1 rate and cloth rate is increasing 0 to 1. The ratio is 1. 14 to 12. Wheat production is falling by 2 units and the cloth production increasing by 1 unit. Ratio is 2 raised to 1. It means 2. Marginal opportunity cost formula is delta y upon delta x, or change in unit of wheat divided by change in unit of cloth. If we assume that cloth is x and wheat is y, so formula of the marginal opportunity cost will be delta y upon delta x, or other formula is loss of y upon gain of x. Here the unit marginal opportunity cost is increasing order, is in increasing order, like 1, 15 minus 14, 1, 14 minus 12, 2, 12 minus 9, 3, 9 minus 5, 4, and 5 minus 0, 5. Here this rate we are seeing here, it is increasing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So PPC curve shape is concave to the origin. This curve is always concave to the origin due to increasing marginal opportunity cost. Marginal opportunity cost is responsible for the concave shape of the PPC. Production possibility curve is also known as production possibility frontier, transformation curve, production possibility boundary. It explains the possible combinations of two goods that can be produced with the help of given resources and given technology. This curve shape is always concave. Concave A, B, C, D, E, F. These are different combinations. And all the points which lie on PPC curve shows fully employment and fully availability of resources. The two basic properties of PPC is always concave to the origin, which implies marginal opportunity causes tends to rise. PPC slope is always downward with the given resources and technology. Greater production of one good must imply lesser production of the other. And MOC refers to the loss of output of good Y when some resources are withdrawn from the production of good X. If you reduce the unit of Y, you can increase the production of X. PPC is this type of curve concave to the origin. Inside this point, attainable resource is called, and beyond that curve, if a point is above this curve, this is called unattainable resources. And the last point is increase and decrease. PPC can be shifted either to the right hand side or left hand side. It depends upon the growth of resources or underutilization of resources. Now in this unit, students, I have discussed with you these topics which are very important in your Unit 1, Part 1. Now, next topic we will discuss in next session in Part 2. Thank you.